Boa noite, pessoal. Sejam todos bem-vindos a mais um bate-papo. E hoje irei conversar com o Natan, fundador da Black Mixture, que é um canal no YouTube que tem mais de 270 mil inscritos. No canal ele fala sobre tudo relacionado à área criativa, plugins, softwares, entre outras coisas muito legais. Eu conheci o trabalho do Natan em 2020, quando ele falou aí de um projeto meu, mas depois a gente entra nesse assunto. Então, todo mundo seja muito bem-vindo. Natan, obrigado por ter aceito o convite. E eu queria te conhecer um pouquinho melhor, saber da sua trajetória até os dias de hoje.
So he was just introducing a little bit of you. He's saying like you're a founder of the Black Mixer channel with more than 270 million subscribers, and like you talk about a lot of topics on creative area like motion and tech. He was saying that he knew about you on 2020 when you talked about his rig on Ron Simpson, but he's gonna touch more about this topic a little bit later on the call. It's a huge pleasure to have you here in the call. He got really excited to when you accepted, and he's just open, for you to introduce yourself and talk about a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, first off, I want to say thank you for having me on. I remembered seeing Tiago's work, I think back in 2020, where he had this amazing rig that was set up in After Effects. And for anyone that hasn't watched the channel or has already watched the channel, then you already know that we do talk a lot about After Effects and motion design, and more recently also just more modern versions of like motion design as well. So it's pretty awesome to be able to talk with you all and kind of just chat about design and see where the tech is going as well.
Ele recorda de ter falado com, né, ter discutido sobre você em 2020. Ele agradeceu ter a oportunidade de estar na call, ele está muito animado também de ter essa oportunidade. E ele falou que todo mundo que acompanha o canal sabe que ele discute um pouco de After Effects, Motion, e falar um pouco de onde que a gente vai com a tecnologia de Motion Design.
Legal.
Yeah.
E vamos lá, então avisa ele que eu vou fazer algumas perguntas já, que a galera
Okay.
mandou para
Okay.
te responder.
So he's just gonna start throwing some questions that he received, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Antes, se ele puder fazer só uma introdução, falando um pouquinho mais dele, quando ele
Okay.
começou, o que ele faz atualmente além do canal.
Okay. So, Nathan, actually, before the questions, he was asking if you could talk a little bit about your journey, like how you started, like in the career.
Oh wow. Okay, so it goes kind of a long journey, I'd say. I'd probably say I first got into filmmaking when I was 12 years old. I saw Hayao Miyazaki's film Spirited Away, and I was super inspired. And ever since then, I went down the rabbit hole of learning 2D animation to 3D animation, then VFX, 3D modeling. Yeah, and over the years, after going to like UCLA to study motion design and just design media arts. I ended up exploring the wide gamut from like projection mapping, user interface design. So essentially, it has transcended from just filmmaking to all sorts of mediums. And when we started Black Mixture was actually with my best friend at the time, now my wife. And so it was really rewarding because I got to bring my background in design and media arts, and she brought her background in branding. And so together we started Black Mixture as an agency. And then aside from just doing the client work, since that's mostly just working with other big companies, we wanted to be able to create something for the community of creatives, because I remember when both of us were learning just things like how to set up in After Effects, how to do certain techniques. A lot of the content that was out there at the time was very, I want to say, dull, very boring. And sorry, I realized you're gonna have to translate this. So I don't know if I should break
That's fine. I
in.
make some notes, so if you can keep like, if you'd like to translate right now, yeah, I'm just gonna translate them with this pause. So, Thiago, ele tava falando que ele começou um bom tempo atrás, que ele falou que ele começou com um filmmaker no passado, depois ele começou a ter interesse um pouco mais sobre a área de 2D, 3D, a modelagem 3D, e depois ele foi pegando mais interesse também na parte de mapping, e interesse cada vez mais na parte de tecnologia. A Black Mixer começou um bom tempo atrás com o melhor amigo dele, na verdade, e hoje, atualmente, ele faz a Black Mixer com a esposa dele. Ele falou que ele juntou a experiência dele, né, na parte criativa, em mídias, design, e ela, no conhecimento de brands e marcas, e eles criaram essa agência, combinando essas skills. E além de trabalhar com as empresas, né, para fazer brand, ele falou que basicamente eles lembram de quando eles estavam tentando buscar conteúdo, ele tinha uma falta de conteúdo para a comunidade, das pessoas que estão nessa área, né, atuam na parte de motion e tudo mais. E foi a hora que eles começaram a ter um pouquinho de interesse em compartilhar esse conteúdo. Agora,
Isso é legal.
if
Go
you would
ahead.
like to add something, yeah.
Amanda,
Okay. Oh, sorry.
pergunta pra ele se ele entende alguma palavra do português ou ele tá, tipo, sem entender
Eu
nada. Tá.
acho que não, mas he was just like making a question like, do you understand any word in Portuguese or not at all?
Not at all. Only the word Portuguese. Whenever
Yeah.
it comes out, I know how to. Sorry. Yeah.
Ele falou que não, só a palavra português quando eu falo português. Entendi.
Amanda, agora
Okay, just going back, I don't know if you'd like to go back or you're good. Like you're just saying, you made some pause. Like when you're saying,
Oh,
you
yeah.
said you want to start the community, like to spread the content for everyone in the community of the motion design.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you'd like to add something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to add, so we had around the time when we wanted to learn things all creative and tech, it was a very niche community, so there wasn't too many creators that were talking about how to make things. So most people may have heard of like Video Copilot before for teaching a lot of people After Effects, and yeah, we wanted to really bring the education, the entertainment together, and felt like it was beneficial because those skills were essentially ones that helped us and like what we do professionally and also what we get to kind of enjoy the lifestyle that we have and do creative work. It's really rewarding. So we want to be able to also teach people those things as well because there is a barrier for entry if you don't know the skills of maybe how to open up a certain program and install certain plugins and do certain techniques or even knowing what to explore when it comes to creative tech. So that's why we made the YouTube channel.
Awesome. Então ele complementou que eles tinham um nicho muito pequeno quando eles estavam começando, não tinha muito como explorar, né? Eles queriam abranger isso de uma forma que pudesse trazer educação para as pessoas não sabem muito bem como começa, tem uma barreira entre, né, o aprendizado, e foi exatamente isso que eles quiseram quebrar, essa barreira e compartilhar conhecimento. Foi o motivo do Black Mixer.
legal. Ele citou também um vídeo Copilot, né?
Ele também citou,
Vídeo Copilot.
ele falou que poucas pessoas, algumas pessoas conheciam, algumas não, então, tipo, compartilhar isso.
E fale para ele que logo menos o Andrew Kramer here vai estar aqui também no bate-papo.
Andrew?
Kramer here, sei lá.
Oh, Thiago, he doesn't know exactly how to pronounce this, but could you repeat, Thiago? Pode falar, por favor, o nome do homem?
Andrew.
Thiago.
Fala Andrew do vídeo Copilot, ele vai saber quem é.
Oh, Andrew of the Video Compile is gonna be here in the call as well.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't think, Thiago, você sabe quando vai ser, Thiago?
Não, tá bom. Estamos conversando.
They are planning when, but yeah, he's gonna come here as well.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. É incrível, Thiago.
Eu vou começar então a fazer as perguntas que me mandaram aqui.
Okay, now he's gonna start with the questions.
Okay.
Tudo bem, pode começar, Thiago.
Você imaginava que teria um alcance tão grande com o canal da Black Mixer?
When you made the channel, have you ever imagined that you would like grow in the way that you are now?
Surprisingly, I would say that it was very calculated in a sense. So we had the moment that we knew that creative tech would be more popular than it was necessarily when we were first starting or learning was because the more people were just creating in general. So when I started like learning filmmaking back in high school, I think I was the only person with a camera around that essentially would go and take videos and take photos and edit them. The only person that knew After Effects. But then after graduating from college, it seemed like the next generation of people were creating all sorts of amazing stuff with After Effects or having to learn these things. And especially with the rise of social media and more people needing content created for Instagram, created for different platforms, it seemed just in general like creative work was going to be a more popular thing, and essentially more people were then going to be wanting to learn it. And yeah, that's why we even focused on that in the first place.
É. Ele falou que, de certa forma, ele foi um pouquinho calculado, porque ele falou que eles sabiam que essa parte de tecnologia está crescendo, e quando ele estudava, né, Filmmaker, ele falou que acho que praticamente era a única pessoa que tinha esse conhecimento das plataformas, né, das ferramentas, e ele foi percebendo que no decorrer do tempo, ainda mais com a mídia de social medias, né, isso ia crescendo, ia causando mais interesse. As pessoas agora, atualmente, elas estão se tornando mais criativas, estão explorando mais esse ramo, então, assim, de certa forma, eles esperavam que o canal pudesse crescer.
Sim, legal. Mano, uma curiosidade, inclusive o Marcel mandou aqui no chat. Ele conhece o evento Animotion que tem aqui no Brasil?
No Brasil? Okay. He said very cool. And there was someone that just sent a question right now in the chat. Do you know animation? It's como que é mesmo, Thiago? Um evento? Is animation?
O nome do evento é Animotion mesmo.
Animotion. Animotion?
Sim.
Okay. Sorry. Animotion is the name of the event that we have in Brazil. Do you know? Have you ever heard it or no? Animotion.
No, I don't think I.
No?
No.
Eu não conheço.
Ele precisa vir conhecer, porque o Animotion é um evento muito grande que tem aqui no Brasil, que retornou esse ano, que vai trazer profissionais e estúdios do mundo todo. Vão trazer a galera da State, inclusive o Marcelo tá aí, o pessoal da State Design, vai vir o pessoal da Buck, vai vir Pedro Aquino, vai vir pessoas, profissionais muito bons. Então, seria interessante
Quando vai ser mesmo?
o Brasil conhecer o evento.
Quando vai ser mesmo?
Vai ser em outubro.
In outubro, né? So he's just saying like it would be awesome if you could come here like this. It's a good suggestion for you. It's an event that gather a lot of like professionals in the area, and it had stopped a little bit. Now this event's just coming back, so it's coming back with in an awesome way. And yeah, he's just like it's gonna happen in October this year. So it's just like if I haven't time, he's just saying like it's a good suggestion you to come to join this.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that.
Obrigada.
Vou mandar mais perguntas aqui que o pessoal mandou, tá? Faz para ele se manter atualizado das tendências e as novas tecnologias que vêm chegando.
Mm-hmm. So another question that he has is like, how do you make to keep yourself dealing with so many technology coming in, and like you understanding and putting on an eye on everything, like how you keep you updated?
Oh, let's see. How do I keep up? Essentially, it starts from having a love of learning, I'd say, to where I really do find all this stuff like super exciting. So especially with like every update or every plugin, I guess being able to see where something before used to take us like hours to do in After Effects, or doing like even before After Effects was thing, most people were maybe editing in like Final Cut and whatnot. So like just seeing how much better the tech gets every year and how much faster and easier it is to edit and to make really awesome stuff has made it really exciting to learn. So I'll even be looking at other YouTube creators at time. I'll look at blogs, I'll look at articles, essentially different press conferences too sometimes. So that way, like I'll be able to see what Adobe's working on or even what NVIDIA is working on. And then over the time, since we've had the YouTube channel kind of do more successfully, then we do get outreach from different companies developing like groundbreaking stuff and wanting us to kind of test it out and to check it out. And all of that has been really fun. So that's kind of how we keep a pulse on what's going on with tech.
Everything. Got it. Ele falou que, na verdade, é por experiência, né? Ele vai explorando conforme mais e ele vai descobrindo conforme a tecnologia vai avançando. Ele sempre está tentando se atualizar por experiência, ele curte bastante isso. Ele falou que ele está sempre lendo muitos artigos, muitos blogs, ele participa de conferências, ele sempre dá uma olhada no que a Adobe está fazendo. ele falou que ele também tem uns outreach de empresas que basicamente quando elas lançam algumas coisas, eles enviam para eles também, para eles se atualizarem, entendeu? Então, assim, é meio que uma forma que eles sempre conseguem estar ligados do que está acontecendo.
Muito legal. Outra coisa, recentemente, eu vi que ele foi num evento do YouTube, né? Acredito que foi a convite do YouTube. Queria saber como foi esse evento, o que que rolou lá. Deixa eu saber um pouquinho
Uh,
mais.
so Chad was saying like he saw that you post that you were on a YouTube event, like influencer event, I think, and he was like,
Oh,
how was it? Like, you know, how was it, and how did you feel there?
oh yeah. We went to there was a YouTube Black Voices event. So YouTube has I guess like a program for specific creators. We were able to apply and were selected for their program. I lasted about I think 6 months, and at the end of it was an opportunity where they hosted an event actually in Atlanta where we're based, and had a bunch of different creators from all different realms of content. So you could have lifestyle creators, you could have tech YouTubers, you could have all sorts of people that essentially were all creating content on the platform. So it was really great to get to meet everyone. I met a lot of awesome people and got to kind of just chat and make new friends because I think you probably know if you're doing content online, sometimes it may be a little bit isolating if you can't like actually meet people in person. So it's always really great to have those kind of events.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I know, like, it's good to to see people personally. Just a random thing, but just that, like, I work home office, so it's always welcome when you can see people as
Yeah.
real. Thiago, ele falou que o YouTube eles têm um programa, né, onde que junta é, os influencers, criadores de conteúdo, e ele falou que tem bastante categorias assim de lifestyle, ao pessoal que gera conteúdo de tecnologia, e ele falou que é sempre muito bom, ele pode encontrar bastante pessoas lá, e ele falou que ainda mais quando a gente trabalha num ramo assim que a gente está meio fechado, é tudo meio que virtual também, assim, até citei, eu acrescentei que eu entendo que ele está dizendo, como eu trabalho home office também, a gente está trabalhando no nicho, está sempre muito bem-vindo quando a gente pode encontrar essas pessoas, né, pessoalmente.
Pergunta se ele já recebeu a placa de 100 mil inscritos, já chegou para ele?
Okay, have you received the sign like about 100 subscribers from YouTube?
Oh, the plaque. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, we have the I think it's kind of there in the background. So yeah, we
Okay,
got
yeah,
one
I
right
see it.
there. Yeah,
Ele
sorry, it might
tem,
be a
ele,
little out of focus.
ele. No, but we can see it. Yeah, thanks for showing.
Yeah.
Ele falou que tem, ó, pode ver ali atrás dele, aquela plaquinha atrás dele ali, é a placa, Thiago.
Esse é meu sonho, um dia
Ele
quero.
falou, desculpa que tá tá um pouquinho embaçado, mas acho que dá pra ver.
Esse é meu sonho, um dia quero receber essa placa também.
He's like, he wants to get this one day as well.
Of course.
It's a dream.
Yeah, no, I think if he keeps up making awesome content, of course people are going to subscribe and he's going to get one as well.
Yeah. Ele falou, não, isso é incrível, pode só continuar produzindo conteúdos incríveis e você também vai conseguir pegar uma com certeza.
Ô, mano, outra pergunta do Marcel aqui, se ele conhece o trabalho de algum brasileiro que trabalha com animação, motion, se ele acompanha ou conhece algum.
Do you know any professional from Brazil, like a motion design that you follow from Brazil, or no, specifically from Brazil, they are asking?
Specifically from Brazil, I don't think so. I would say Thiago's probably yeah.
Yeah. Ele falou que eu perguntei se ele conheceria algum outro motion alguém do Brasil, né, na área. Ele falou que ele acredita que não sei você.
Fala para ele que eu vou apresentar que os brasileiros são ótimos motion designers, animadores. Vou apresentar para ele.
He's gonna present you some others because like here in Brazil we have a lot of motion design, so
Oh yeah,
he's gonna put them to you.
of course.
Ok.
Yeah.
Com certeza.
Deixa eu ver outra pergunta aqui que mandaram. Qual que é a expectativa em relação à inteligência artificial Sora, né? Tá vindo com tudo pro mercado.
Okay.
Queria saber o que
Okay,
sobre.
what do you think about Sora? What do you,
About Sora?
oh, yeah, what do you like? It's the future for Sora.
Oh, okay. I feel like I could go on and on, so I'll try to be as succinct as possible. Uh,
Okay.
I find Sora to be one of the more exciting texts to have come out recently, and I understand that a lot of people are scared because it creates such realistic and believably like videos. It's not perfect at the moment, but I do see the future of it getting to the point where it could be good enough to essentially replace things like After Effects and maybe even Premiere Pro. Uh, Maybe not to the same extent as how would I describe it? As like some of the softwares essentially that people still use. I think that Sora maybe at least something that people use in combination with it. So maybe instead of making an entire scene in After Effects, I could imagine people making multiple scenes and then maybe editing that together. But at the moment, it's still not perfect.
Ele falou que só é uma das tecnologias que ele acha que é o mais interessante. Ele não podia até se estender em relação a isso. Ele tentou ser sucinto, mas assim, basicamente é a tecnologia que ele acha mais interessante e ele sabe que tem muitas pessoas que têm um receio por causa da. Talvez não chegar num ponto dessa realidade, não, que a gente vai discernir o que é real, o que não é, mas a gente não está nesse patamar ainda de conseguir chegar, mostrar com muita realidade, ainda tem muito que evoluir, né? Ele fala que talvez chegue um momento que vá substituir um software ou outro, mas ele acha que talvez meio que eles possam trabalhar em conjunto, entendeu? Talvez o Sora possa produzir bastante imagens e depois você possa fazer um pós de edição no After e no Premiere. E ele comentou que talvez pudesse substituir, mas não é uma certeza. Tem, talvez dê para trabalhar em conjunto.
Inclusive, o assunto de inteligência artificial, às vezes é um pouco polêmica, né? Tem pessoas que são a favor, tem pessoas que são contra, até por conta de direitos autorais. Queria saber qual é a
Oh,
opinião,
okay.
se ele é a favor, se ele é contra, o que que ele pensa.
So Tiago is saying like AI actually is really hard topic because people like some people are in favor, other people are otherwise. And what do you think about it? A lot of people are also kind of complaining about the rights. I think Hollywood was talking about it a lot. And what do you think about it?
Okay, yeah. So with I'll start first with the copyrights. I know the AI has been trained on a lot of people's copyrighted data, though it does bring a bigger question about just how content sometimes in general gets made, in which most artworks, whether that's music or videos or even motion design, tends to gather influence from some sort of training material. So I know when I had to learn animation, we would watch a bunch of Disney movies and specifically watch some of the techniques about anticipation and how they communicate momentum and a lot of things learned from other animators as works beforehand before getting applied to something new. So when it comes to AI being trained on copyrighted data, I almost see it very similarly to how everyone else learned how to do the techniques that we learned, which is from learning from other people's works at some point. And then I'm sorry, I kind of forgot the other question as well.
No, yeah, actually, it's basically like so a lot of people like have this are in favor or not like about the AI and basically what do you think about the rights of it? You know, like for example, we were also discussing about Sora. Like I don't know if the technology was gonna like use people's without or with rights, you know, but it's not the real people. I think I can mention you as an example. I think there was some things going on, for example, Hollywood, maybe just like, you know, some actors and actors could be used as uh, people
Oh
as
yeah.
well, you know, like on with the technology. So what do you think about it?
Yeah. Well, even aside from Sora being able to do that, right now there's actually technology available for everyone to just take any sort of photo, to whether that's a photo of me talking or a photo of just me still, and make me talk and duplicate my voice and put me in all sorts of videos. So it's even not just a problem for maybe Hollywood actors, but also for everyone in general. So I think it is important to have people learn how the tech can impact everyone on like a global scale to where your photos, everyone's photos or videos are essentially up for grabs when it comes to AI. And in a way, someone that's either malintended could do anything with these photos, or someone who has maybe, I'm leaning more into the creative, optimistic side of creatives, to where I'm hoping, maybe someone can make a photo of me turn into an action video game or something, something super crazy that's fun. And hopefully more people get these kind of like interesting creative ideas. So sometimes I'll like putting myself in a spacesuit or doing all sorts of things. Yeah.
É, em geral, Thiago, ele comentou que a tecnologia, na verdade, ela tá aí, né? Espero que as pessoas saibam como usar de forma geral, pois é, eu até acrescentei para ele, por exemplo, de que a AI, algumas plataformas, em geral, como que pode ser, acho que teve algumas discussões em relação a Hollywood já, dos direitos autorais em relação à imagem, né? E ele comentou que, bom, o esperado é que as pessoas saibam usar isso, né? Porque até mesmo, não só não que seja um problema com os atores de Hollywood, mas tipo, com todo mundo. Tem uma foto dele, de qualquer um, eles podem pegar, a gente pode pegar a tecnologia e manipular e fazer um outro uso, pode fazer, tem pessoas que estão mal intencionadas e podem fazer o uso do material que está disponível aí de uma forma negativa, mas o que ele espera é que as pessoas estejam bem intencionadas e que possam, sei lá, pegar uma foto e poder tornar isso, e fazer uma animação muito legal e botar pro, né, quando a gente fala da parte mais criativa, é, usar essa ferramenta na parte criativa de uma forma positiva, fazer algumas coisas muito mirabolantes, eu podia dizer.
Eu concordo, super concordo com ele. Acho que é uma tecnologia que já é a nossa realidade, veio para ficar,
Uhum,
ainda mais, né? E que a gente tem que usar ao nosso favor. Obviamente, como ele falou, né, a gente não vai ter controle das pessoas mal intencionadas, né, que vão usar de uma forma negativa, mas esperamos aí que a galera realmente use de uma forma positiva, use como um suporte, um auxílio, mas também continue com aquela ideia de continuar usando a criatividade, continuar criando coisas novas e não ficar dependente só da inteligência artificial.
uhum. Yeah, so Thiago was basically saying how he agrees, and like when you were saying about, we hope that people just use all those technology in a good way, and also that, but otherwise, he was also saying like hopefully they understand how to use it in combination, not to be just dependent on the new tools of the technology, but also using combination, just like it keeps also learning and using the tools that we already have, like manual tools, I would say, not just
Yeah.
technology, but combination of both. Aí, Thiago.
Oi?
Não, isso aí.
Ah, tá.
Você ia fazer alguma outra pergunta?
I was
Yeah.
Tem mais.
also gonna ask, does Tiago have any other thoughts on Sora and AI in general? I was curious what he thought about it.
Ok, você tem alguma ideia sobre SOR ou sobre AI, alguma coisa específica, Thiago?
Então,
Ou qualquer.
eu não vi muito ainda sobre o Sora, dei uma pesquisada superficial, né? Mas vi que realmente vai ser uma inteligência artificial muito poderosa. E eu não sei quando, não sei se ele sabe quando que vai ser lançado, mas acredito que vai ser em 2024 ainda. E eu estou curioso no lançamento para poder experimentar também, né? E realmente também usar ao meu favor aqui no dia a dia de trabalho.
Sim. So, Thiago, assim, he has just not, hasn't gone so deeply on SOR, and all those things, possibilities, but he's really excited. He was just asking, if you could actually remind, like, when it's gonna come. I think in next year, like it's gonna be updated. SOR,
Oh,
do you know?
I believe that it's like rumored to come out this year, actually.
This
And
year.
surprisingly, it was even rumored to have been developed, I think, 2 years ago. So essentially, it's already been made, and just, yeah, a few people are getting access to it. And then eventually,
Yeah,
hopefully, everyone by that sort of like mid this year, end of this year.
yeah, and he said like he is expected to come like soon, because he would like to, get the tool and be able to use and test it.
Yeah.
Um, então, o Thiago, ele falou, se eu não me engano, acho que vai vir esse ano. É, algumas pessoas já estão tendo acesso, né? Desde 2 anos atrás, na verdade, eles vêm reproduzindo, as pessoas têm tido acesso e estão podendo usar. Só que talvez meio para esse ano, mas quase no final, as pessoas já começam a ter mais acesso também.
Legal. Mano, outra coisa que eu queria falar para ele em relação ao canal no Black Mixer, uma coisa que eu gosto muito, além da forma, a forma que ele apresenta, ele é muito simpático, carismático. Então, prende nossa atenção, além do conteúdo que é muito bom, né? Uma das coisas que eu gosto também é do top 10 que ele faz. Queria saber quando que surgiu essa ideia de fazer o top 10. Inclusive foi aí que eu conheci o trabalho dele, né? Quando ele falou lá do projeto do Rig.
So Nathan, he was actually congratulating you about how you present your channel. You're so sympathetic there, and he said so nice. And I could add, I wouldn't say it, but I also could add, like, I like it in the way that you started, like, hey, it's our boy Nate here. And he was saying that he likes when you make like the top 10 channels. It's the way that he met you when you talked about the Homer Simpsons, and he was just asking how how do you select it? You know, like how you you had an idea of make this top 10.
Oh, yeah. So it's actually funny enough, this stories for the top 10 stems all the way back to high school talent shows. And the reason for this was because back then, I don't know if you guys have had a talent show where most people maybe sing or they'll dance or they'll do some sort of magic tricks. And back then I always wanted to kind of showcase some really awesome motion design, but there's no way to show that at a talent show. So for the channel, we thought it'd be really cool to kind of showcase the really amazing techniques of motion designers and different animators and 3D modelers and all the creative works, but give it like a platform. And so that's where the top 10 techniques, or the top 10 techniques for After Effects and Blender came from, was by being able to kind of showcase and elevate all these awesome artworks on a stage so that we could showcase all of their awesome work to people that may have never even seen it before, and then they get inspired as well. So that's where the channel idea came for, or that's where that show idea came for.
Ok. Ele estava dizendo que a ideia desse show, ele veio basicamente, né, anos atrás. Por exemplo, basicamente a gente teve também algum show que a gente podia assistir que trazia talentos. E trazia talentos de mágica, que trazia talentos de cantores e tudo mais. Então ele sempre teve essa vontade. Ele falou, nossa, eu gostaria de ter... desde quando ele estava no colégio, ele tinha essa vontade de ter um show onde que pudesse falar de motion design, porque ele falou que basicamente é muito legal a gente poder apresentar as pessoas para o mundo também, como se fosse nesses shows mesmo. As pessoas vão lá, se apresentam e se aparecem para as pessoas que talvez não tivessem esse alcance, entendeu? Passa por ele também, assim, ele pode ter uma oportunidade de, através desse show, mostrar outras pessoas para o mundo.
Oh, and sorry, I also realized I didn't answer as to how some of the artworks get selected. And so for that, we actually have the same way that I'll go through and find different creators and their work will blow my mind. We'll also have people, I'm sure just like Thiago said, he's going to show me some different Brazilian creators that will reach out and send us different works from people that they like and they're inspired by. So that's it ends up coming into this full list of different works from people ranging from posts on Instagram to Reddit to YouTube to all over the place. And essentially after watching like all of the content down, then we'll get to pick out some of the 10 most innovative or ones that maybe kind of showcase something a little bit special. And most of the time they end up making their way onto the channel at some point or another. So we'll even have some people that have submitted their work like 3 or 4 times, and then maybe on like their third one they ended up being on the channel. So if anyone's watching as well, like, we recommend you to submit your stuff, and if we haven't featured you already, just keep creating, and eventually maybe it might get there.
Ok. Eu tinha acrescentado também uma pergunta de como que ele selecionava eles, né? E ele falou que muitas pessoas entram em contato com ele, às vezes ele faz algumas pesquisas, mas muitas pessoas, ele recebe muitas pessoas mandando para eles Instagram, às vezes pelo YouTube, canais e tudo mais. Ele falou que acho que tem algumas pessoas também que às vezes continuam tentando elas mesmas mostrar o próprio trabalho, às vezes ele não é o primeiro trabalho da pessoa, mas a pessoa manda mais de uma vez até que chega ao ponto que ele consegue ver e ele traz pro canal.
É bom que ele dá visibilidade para todo mundo, né? A galera realmente manda o trabalho e tem a chance de poder ele fazer alguns comentários e falar sobre o trabalho da pessoa.
He was saying like it's a huge opportunity you give to everyone to show the works for everyone, and it's something very interesting.
Awesome. Yeah. And I hope
Muito legal.
everyone that gets featured on the channel knows that their work is awesome. So I know when Tiago was featured, we really wanted to showcase like how awesome it was because not too many people I think can make something that looks as great. And I remember still the Homer Simpson rig when I saw it, and it blew my mind. So definitely when you make awesome work, we hope that more people can see it.
Falou, realmente, ele fica feliz, ele gosta de mostrar, ele falou exatamente, o seu Homer Simpson foi assim, ele ficou impressionado, ele fica até agora ele consegue lembrar, assim, de como você fez a animação e quão é difícil chegar nesse nível de animação, e a gente tem que mostrar isso pro mundo, né?
Eu fiquei super feliz, eu acho que ele nem sabe o tamanho que foi o alcance dele ter feito comentários sobre o meu trabalho, né? E pra mim foi super bacana ver uma pessoa que não é do Brasil comentando sobre o meu trabalho. Fiz questão de falar para minha família, para meus amigos, então foi muito legal essa experiência aí.
He was thanking you again. He was like, I don't think you have the imagination of how great it was for himself, like how he could be, he could grow and show, like he got really excited because you, an international channel saw him and he could show, and he was showing like to everyone. He's proud to our parents and, everyone, his
Awesome.
friends and everyone. Que bom, Thiago.
Uma outra coisa, queria saber agora sobre o dia a dia dele. Quais são os softwares que ele utiliza? Se ele trabalha com After, se ele trabalha mais com 3D? Qual que é o software que é do dia a dia dele?
What's the software that you use like in your daily basis? Like you
Daily.
normally
So we use After Effects, Premiere. The more recently, I've really been enjoying another one called Descript, which is really cool. Let's see, which ones else? So those would probably be like the three biggest for at least video editing or motion. And then let's see, I guess if you consider ChatGPT like another software tool, like we use ChatGPT as well. I like messing around specifically even with like their GPT-4 model. So sometimes we'll even mess around with making like some Python scripts. So that's like one avenue. Blender as well is another. Focus. I don't think too many people know about this one. It's like an image generation one that's on the computer, but it's made from someone that's just uploaded it on GitHub, so it's very low key. What else? I think those are probably like the main ones off the top of my head.
Could you just repeat the last one you said that it's a small one that you also image generation?
Yeah, that one's called Focus. It's Foocus. It's a very strange name. Yeah. So that's one.
Okay.
We also use Midjourney though. That one more people might know of as well. That one we've used a lot.
Yeah.
And then for like yeah, it kind of depends though because depending on the project, so since we do like a wide variety of stuff, so maybe not just videos, but even 3D and VFX and all sorts of things. So it could range from also if you want to know about like the 3D software that we use. We love Unreal Engine as well, so that one's really awesome for making sort of like 3D environments if you're messing with VR or virtual reality and mixed reality stuff. So that's another software that we use.
Ele falou que basicamente ele usa After Effects, Premiere, Descript para editar e para motion. Ele falou que também não sabe direito se entra, mas o ChatGPT, Blender, ele falou que tem um que é bem local, eu acho que é Foxes, que ele usa. Ele falou que é bem pequeno e ele gera imagens. Tem o Midjourney também, que eu acho que mais pessoas conhecem. E basicamente depende do projeto, né? Conforme ele precisa do como eles trabalham com a empresa também, conforme o projeto ele vai alternando as plataformas,
E pergunta para ele,
ferramentas.
já que do Blender, qual que é a visão. Ele está nos Estados Unidos atualmente, né?
Sim. Então,
A visão que o pessoal tem aí do Blender por ser um software gratuito, que aqui no Brasil, às vezes, alguns profissionais têm preconceito com o Blender ou decidem, tipo, utilizar algum outro software 3D. Queria saber como que é aí, o que a galera acha do Blender.
he's asking about what your thoughts on Blender, because like here in Brazil, you know, people's like some people like it, some but not, because it's a free tool. So and some people have some prejudice about
Oh
it
yeah,
and prefer to use the others. Yeah, so he was like, what's your thoughts on it and how people, you know, overall like think about it
right.
there?
So, funny enough, Blender and I go way back to where Blender was the first 3D software I ever used back when, even before I got into Cinema 4D or any of the other like softwares. And that was because it was free. I was in eighth grade and I learned Blender, and it was a completely different software back then, though, I will say. They had a game engine built into it. Things were not nearly as fleshed out as they are now. So I had gone through the professional route. I dropped Blender. I followed like most people do. I learned Cinema 4D. And then, when doing actual professional work, we did use Cinema 4D for a while. And then it was about, I want to say 3 or 2 years ago that I started seeing work from studios coming out that I noticed, wait a second, it looks like they're actually using Blender for this professional work. And then I started seeing more individual creators using Blender for really amazing stuff that honestly would rival the likes of Cinema 4D and Maya. And I found it to where when we kind of got back into Blender, which was about 2 years ago, started learning some of the new stuff that had come out for it, I found it to be on par with most of the 3D softwares, and I actually liked the flexibility of the development community. So it was one of the more larger development communities to where a lot of people make plugins for it. I find that that's why After Effects is even so successful, because there's so many developers making great tools for that software. And when it comes to Cinema 4D and Maya and 3ds Max, the development community wasn't actually as big as Blender's, and that's why we shifted back over to using Blender more to see some of the things that were possible to do in Blender that's not possible to do in the other softwares. And I think the fact that it still has been free this entire time is going to make it at least a little bit more successful in the long run, to where more people learning the tools will get to use Blender over having to pay a super crazy subscription price. And over time, when those people join the professional space, then I think more people in general will use Blender in a professional setting. But at the moment, it's not a huge crowd doing it. Probably only like 10% or so people use Blender professionally, and it is pretty much all of the same old software.
É, ele falou que é engraçado um pouco pensar que o Blender foi a primeira tool que ele usou para aprender o 3D, e ele foi aprendendo, né? E logo que ele chegou no nível um pouco mais avançado do aprendizado dele, ele deu uma parada e ele foi aprender o cinema 4D e outras ferramentas. Só que depois que ele ficou mais velho e viu que muitas pessoas estavam voltando a usar o Blender, na verdade, ele começou a assistir muitos conteúdos. Ele percebeu que as pessoas estavam usando o Blender. Ele falou, nossa, peraí, deixa eu dar. O pessoal está usando isso de forma profissional. Daí ele começou a usar e ele começou a ver a imensa possibilidade que tinha começado a aumentar, que na verdade, talvez pelo fato de ser gratuito, as pessoas têm bastante comunidade, então as pessoas começaram a fazer bastante plugin, ajudou bastante também nisso. Ele falou que tem muitas pessoas que vão para o Maya e para os outros, o 4D, o cinema 4D, para usar o 3D, mas também tem muitas pessoas que estão usando o Blender como a parte profissional, e ele acha que essa comunidade assim crescendo, se ajudando com plugin e tudo mais, criando, é importante. Talvez tenha sido de graça até esse momento, mas também tem ajudado a própria plataforma.
O Blender, por mais que ele seja. Até uma correção do que eu falei gratuito, mas me informaram aqui que tem uma diferença entre ser open source e ser gratuito. Eu não sei qual a diferença, mas eu falei gratuito.
He was correcting. Desculpa.
Mas
Você vai falar, Tiago?
Isso. Realmente o Blender, eu sou leigo em 3D, mas os resultados que eu vejo são muito bons. E eu acho que independente da ferramenta ou software que a pessoa utiliza, o mais importante é o resultado, né?
So actually, he was saying that he committed mistakes to saying that it's free, that there is a plan, uh, because he doesn't know a 3D world a lot, so he's not used to say a lot. But he was saying like it's a really good tool and um, is really useful for the professionals as well. Sim, aí.
A Carol acabou de entrar aí, mano. Carol, a gente tava falando bem de você aqui, viu? A State tá no chat aí.
We are saying hi to Carol. She just joined here, so.
Amanda, a gente chegou a quase uma hora de live. Eu mandei aqui as perguntas da galera. Então, queria aproveitar esse momento para ver se ele quer falar alguma coisa, concluir algo, né? Para ele ficar à vontade.
Uhum. Eu queria acrescentar uma pergunta, na verdade, alguém se eu posso, né? Já entrei na pergunta como que ele faz os conteúdos, na verdade. Tipo assim, eu acho interessante sempre saber, na verdade, como. Eu não estou no chat, deixa eu tô fazendo uma pergunta aqui mesmo. So Thiago was pretty much saying that we almost reached 1 hour of
Oh,
call. He was going to open, yeah, so he was going to open you to add some notes for everyone that's watching us, and and that you like to share. But actually, before we finish it, I just asked. I have a question then, and I'm not in the chat right now, so I just use this time to make the question. So how do you get inspirations to you know because you have your own ages and you also produce content on YouTube. So how you keep the consistency? Like you keep making all those stuffs together. Like um, like it's not easy to have the company and also keep producing content on YouTube. How you handle with it?
oh, so thankfully it's not all me. It's the combination of me and my wife. So when we first kind of got serious about doing YouTube, I think it was like I say 2018, 2017 or so around then. She had sat me down, gave me essentially an entire brand guidelines for the Black Mixture and how we would do the agency, how we would do the YouTube channel as well. And since executing on that brand guidelines, it has made everything much easier from a consistency standpoint. So we know what kind of content we're going to do. We know why we do it. We know our mission. And having that grounding has helped us make the decisions that come up. So one of the challenges, I'll give an example, is so we have a pretty huge following on the channel from After Effects and from motion design. But then when Blender was also coming out, and we're finding that it's going to be very, very useful for people as well, in the same sense that After Effects is very useful for people. We figured since it is in the realm of teaching people creative arts, teaching people creative tech, that it is something that we can explore and that we can do on the channel as well. But sometimes some things will pop up that's completely unrelated. So, from my own personal sense, I love video games, but I'm not going to go ahead and make a video game let's play video on the channel because that's not going to teach people anything creative
Yeah.
and tech wise. So having that core brand guidelines has helped us make those decisions on what to put on the channel. Then also we have a separate internal one for the Black Mixture agency. So that helps us when we have to deal with working with other clients. And in most of those times, it's not really the content on our own brand guidelines. It's mostly working within another company's brand guidelines. So and then essentially just using the same sort of techniques and tools that we know to help those businesses as well. So that's
Mhm.
at least how we manage it in those two different lanes.
Boa
Okay,
sorte.
sounds good. Thanks for answering.
Yep.
Na verdade, eu perguntei para ele como que ele fazia para conciliar, né? Ele tem a própria empresa dele e ele gera conteúdo para o YouTube, como que ele conseguia manter a consistência de tudo isso. E ele tá falando que, né, o que ele havia comentado, que como ele tem a ajuda da esposa dele, também isso ajudou muito ela, ele já veio muito preparada com a parte de identidade visual do, do Black Mixture, e ela veio com as lições, valores, né? Eles foram montando em conjunto. E basicamente eles têm o canal do Black Mixer, onde que eles ensinam as pessoas, eles divulgam mais informações, mas eles também têm da empresa deles um pouco separado, para eles mantêm só a parte de brands, né, e para os clientes. Ele falou que ele sempre tenta buscar conteúdo que vão estar relacionados, né, porque ele gosta muito de videogame, por exemplo, mas ele não vai trazer isso para o canal, mas eles discutem daí ali, os conteúdos sempre vão gerando baseado no que eles podem espalhar para o pessoal, e ele faz em combinação com a empresa que ele tem, né, que trabalha com a parte de brand, com os conteúdos que eles geram, e tem bastante conteúdo que eles podem gerar, por causa que tem o público do pessoal que mexe em 3D, tem o público que mexe em motion design, tem o pessoal mais um pouquinho voltado para tecnologia, então, assim, isso ajuda também a diversificar os conteúdos.
Sim, e que ele continue fazendo esse trabalho brilhante aí, que ajuda muitas pessoas, né? Traz informação, traz entretenimento, porque é divertido ver muitas coisas que eles postam. Então, que continuem trazendo esses conteúdos bacanas pra gente.
So he is saying like, yeah, very nice to know a bit more about you, and like he keep doing exactly what you're doing. Like he is so awesome for everyone, and you do a awesome job. So yeah, he's just congrats you a lot about it.
Oh, thank you so much, and likewise to you both as well, because this has been a huge honor, and I was honestly very, very surprised when you asked me to be on. Even the fact that you want to hear me talk about motion design and all this stuff is pretty heartwarming to me. But yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for us. Thiago, ele está falando que ele está agradecendo a honra para ele poder estar participando. Ele ficou muito animado também quando ele recebeu o convite, que ele ficou até um pouco surpreso, né, quando ele foi convidado para falar um pouco de motion design. Ele estava até, em outras palavras, um pouco receoso, mas ele está bem honrado por isso.
Que legal, eu que fico super feliz por ele ter aceito o convite, né? Por ele ter separado um pouquinho do tempo dele para conversar com a gente. Peço desculpas por ter, talvez, ficar essa dinâmica da nossa live, por ter essa tradução, né? Acaba ficando um pouquinho mais lenta, mas é um teste que eu estou fazendo aí para conseguir trazer mais pessoas, não só brasileiros, mas trazer pessoas de fora, para trazer conteúdo também para os brasileiros, entendeu?
Uhum. Again, he's thanking you, and also he's saying like, thanks a lot for making the time, because actually it's our first time making a live in this format, and he was saying sorry, like we need some pause, but thanks so much for your patience and all, and it's the way that he's trying to, improve and bring even more people to also spread information to everyone.
Oh yeah. Awesome, thanks, and please keep having more awesome podcasts, because I am curious if we're gonna have more that are translated as well, because I tried to watch some of the older ones, but yeah, I don't really
I'm gonna
speak
ask you.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to checking out more of the podcasts and more of the content that you make. And for sure, please send us some dope Brazilian artists, because I know I sometimes see on Behance some really awesome works. But if you have a cool list of awesome artists to check out, I'd love to check that out as well.
Good, thank you. Ele falou que, para continuar mesmo, ele falou que até ficou interessado em saber se vai ter mais lives assim, que pode trazer mais conteúdo para ele poder participar também, né? Do que está acontecendo com as traduções. E eu acredito que ele acrescentou alguma coisa que eu não anotei, estou falhando aqui na final, mas ele falou em relação ao público, que você falou que vai mostrar para ele um pessoal que trabalha na área, e que, por favor, mande mesmo para ele a lista que ele tem interesse de saber e conhecer um pouquinho mais. I was just laughing because I was like, I forgot a little bit when you were saying about the professionals there in the list, but I remember it on time.
Oh,
Uma
yeah.
lista com vários profissionais brasileiros muito bons. Inclusive, depois eu vou mandar para ele o perfil do festival Animotion, para ele conhecer esse evento, que é um evento muito grande que tem aqui no Brasil. Então, eu quero que ele conheça, e se tiver a oportunidade de um dia vir aqui para o Brasil e ir até o evento, acho que seria muito legal para ele, para todo mundo, né, poder conhecer ele.
So yeah, he was saying about also like he's gonna send the list for you for sure, and also if you have an opportunity to come to Brazil anytime, he was again mentioning about the animation that you could come here and know. It would be awesome, and we would get really happy to see you here.
That sounds great. Thank you. Thank you. And how do I say thank you in Portuguese? Is it obrigado?
Obrigado.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Yeah.
Okay. I think
Sounds
that's
great.
a little bit of Portuguese. I don't know. Obrigado. Thank you.
Awesome.
Amanda, agradecer só mesmo e falar para ele que esse é o momento que a gente pede, a gente faz uma pose de uns 5 segundos para a galera poder tirar um print, me marcar você, Amanda, e marcar ele, a gente ter um alcance cada vez maior das nossas lives.
So he again said thank you, and he was saying like this moment, if we could take a picture, it's the moment that he takes a picture. Then if you could post on your Instagram, because he's gonna post on his, and we tag each other, because then we can spread, and reach more people as well
Of course.
to watch us later.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You can.
We can say cheese.
Photo.
Yeah, he's gonna say cheese.
What?
Oh, sorry. Could you take the photo on your end, Tiago? Right? I can't see Tiago, by the way. I'm just guessing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot it. Thiago, você vai tirar foto, né? Ele não tá te vendo.
Fala que as pessoas que estão assistindo a live vão tirar foto e elas estão conseguindo ver todos.
Okay. So, yes, he's going to take a picture, but also everyone that's watching us can see all of us.
Right.
So, yeah, we're fine. We will all three will appear there. Yeah.
Bora.
3, 2, 1.
Print aí e nos marque.
Okay. Good. Thank you so much. Mais alguma coisa, Thiago?
Agradecendo de novo ele e agradecendo você, Amanda. Você foi muito bem.
Obrigada.
Foi excelente. Obrigado de verdade. Viu?
Obrigada. Então tá bom. Nathan, he was just again saying thank you, and he was saying thank you to me as well, because it's the first time that I was making the support here as well. So yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you, Nate.
Thanks. Pleasure to meet you as well. Please keep in touch as well. And yeah, this was awesome.
Will do.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, take care. Bye.
Bye, bye.
Até mais. Tchau, tchau.